Welcome to another edition of the President's Diary for the period July 25 to August 1. I'm your host, Janelle Carter. Good evening. This week, rice and the further development of that industry was placed on the front burner for the Granger administration. The Caribbean Development Bank has signaled its interest to work with Ghana in the area of renewable energy. President Granger announced his increase in government subvention for Shaheed's orphanages, and the Vatican is open to supporting international mediation for Guyana. Here's a look at these and more stories. President David Granger has committed strong support to further the development of the local rice industry, and he called on stakeholders to turn the challenges facing the industry into opportunities for a success story. In keeping with the coalition government's 100-day plan to meet with stakeholders within the rice industry, the president on Monday met with stakeholders of the industry and assured them that his administration will work to ensure the industry's viability. The head of state gave this assurance as he addressed farmers, millers, and other stakeholders who gathered at the Arthur Chung Convention Center to participate in the Ministry of Agriculture's National Rice Industry Conference.
We want to bring an end to the anxieties, to the agony, to the apprehensions of persons involved in rice production. This conference today brings together stakeholders in the industry, but we are aiming at the future, not with recrimination and looking back at the past. We want to ensure that the relationship between the various stakeholders in rice can be improved through consultation, through collaboration, and through a deeper comprehension of the problems facing the industry.
Speaking on the importance of the industry, President Granger said rice plays a significant role in Guyana's history, society, and the economy.
But rice is not in crisis. We do have challenges, yes, but we must disabuse ourselves of the view that the industry is on the point of collapse. It does face challenges because of years of neglect, institutional decay, and some bad decisions. But we must make those challenges into opportunities for change. I'm confident that the conference today will initiate a process of consultation and collaboration between the administration and the stakeholders in the industry to overcome those challenges.
Also addressing the stakeholders was Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Noel Holder, who spoke of government's plan to work with the relevant agencies to address issues, including delayed payment to rice farmers, proper storage for paddy, the creation of opportunities for value-added production, and the reduction of cost of production. During the forum, stakeholders were guided through presentations on a number of topics, including rice in the global context, the role of finance in the structure of the industry, and marketing Guyana's rice. The conference was held under the theme Sustainable Development Amidst Challenges. President of the Caribbean Development Bank, Dr. William Warren Smith, met with President David Granger, Prime Minister Moses Nagamootoo, and other members of the cabinet this week, and declared that Guyana has unlimited potential for the development of renewable energy and energy efficiency. Dr. Smith says that the institution is prepared to work with Guyana, a founding member, to support the development of the sector. Dr. Smith said that the bank will grasp at the opportunity to work with Guyana to address green energy, which is critical for a sustainable economy.
There's hardly any form of renewable energy that Guyana does not have, with possibly the exception of geothermal. But you have wind, you have solar, you have abundant hydropower potential. And we have capability in all of those areas. And what we want to do is to design an intervention program here that is consistent with your needs, the pace at which you want to move, and consistent with the peculiarities of your country.
President Granger has made the development of what he calls a green economy a priority, and Dr. Smith said the new administration has demonstrated its commitment to developing renewable energy options for the benefit of Guyana.
Energy efficiency is an area which is frequently overlooked in the discussion about reducing the cost of electricity and the cost of energy generally. But it is really the starting point for making a determination as to how you should address your energy costs.
According to Dr. Smith, while the CDB has capabilities in all of the areas of renewable energy, a program specific to the unique geography and population patterns of Guyana will have to be developed. Moving forward, Dr. Smith said a team from the CDB would be required to conduct an in-depth discussion with local experts to determine how best to overcome geographic challenges. The CDB president noted the pursuing of renewable energy will provide significant benefits for the Guyanese economy, not least of which is the lowering of electricity and energy costs. The Vatican has indicated a willingness to provide international mediation support to Guyana and has reaffirmed its commitment to working to promote peace and unity in the country. This assurance was given when Ambassador His Excellency Archbishop Nicola Girasoli paid a courtesy call on President David Granger earlier this week. Archbishop Girasoli said that Pope Francis the 266th and current Pope of the Catholic Church is more involved in international issues and invited President Granger along with Guyana's Foreign Affairs Minister Carl Greenidge to visit the Vatican.
We touch some other political issue affecting the region, and the Holy See, the Vatican, play also always a role of promoting peace and unity, and I hope that this will continue surely. And also I took this opportunity to invite His Excellency the President and the Minister of Foreign Affairs to visit the Pope, to visit the Vatican, because I think it's also important that the Pope Francis, who is now more and more an international key role in mediation or in mediating international issues.
Also present at the meeting were Minister of Social Cohesion Ms. Amna Ali and Bishop of Georgetown Reverend Francis Allen. The group also held brief discussions on areas of cooperation including education and health, both of which the Catholic community in Guyana continues to work closely with the government on. According to Archbishop Girasoli, President Granger also took the opportunity to express his appreciation for the work being done by the Catholic community. The Archbishop also offered congratulations to President Granger and his administration on behalf of the Vatican for their May 11th election victory. Members of the Guyana Gold and Diamond Miners Association, the GGDMA, said they have been assured that priority areas affecting the industry will be addressed by President David Granger and his administration. President Granger, Minister of State Joseph Harmon, Minister of Business and Investment Dominic Gaskin, Minister of Social Protection Valda Lawrence, and Minister of Governance Raphael Trotman on Thursday met with visiting members of the GGDMA to work out priority areas where the government can support efforts to lower production costs for miners.
Our main input to production is fuel, and we're hoping that we can get a concession on the import taxes and duty on fuel, which will immediately bring assistance to the industry. As you know, we're coming out the rainy seasons and we have impassable roads because of the GGMC not having a board of directors. Decisions cannot be made or has not been made for repairs and maintenance of roads. So we're hoping once the GGMC board of directors have been named, and we were asked to submit 2 names shortly.
Hardin said during the new week, the GGDMA will submit their nominations for representatives on the board of the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission, and the association is looking forward to the body being reconstituted. In addition, follow-up meetings are expected to commence in the new week with the relevant subject ministers based on the concerns that were raised by the association members during the meeting with the president. High on the agenda for the GGDMA is the cost of fuel and import tax for mining equipment and spare parts.
The gold board is committed to buy gold on the world market price. As you know, the world market price has dropped from 1,800 in 2013 to, I think today it's 1090, something like that. Our problem is that the cost of production, fuel price has not dropped, spares, the inputs have not dropped accordingly.
The association president said he is confident that the David Granger-led administration will stick to its commitment made while they were campaigning during the just concluded elections. The children of the Shaheeds Boys and Girls Orphanages had much to celebrate this week, as President David Granger announced that his administration will be increasing the annual subvention given to the organization. Here's a look at that story. Moments after returning from Washington, D.C. on Saturday last, the president made the announcement at the orphanage's Eid Fest, which marked the ending of the holy month of Ramadan. In his address, President Granger lauded the board of the Guyana United Islamic Anjuman for their outstanding humanitarian work at the two orphanages.
Children are our future, and there's no better function, there's no better duty that we can perform, there's no better gift we can give Guyana than to look after the future of our children. And I'm proud and pleased and very happy to announce a moderate increase in the subvention given to the Shaheed Boys and Girls Orphanages on an annual basis from the government of Guyana.
The head of state emphasized the need to nurture the country's future generation, noting that children today face significant challenges that can affect their growth and development. With the high incidence of broken homes, President Granger said society has to play a greater role in raising the nation's children.
It is a serious error for any family. It's a serious error for any country not to pay attention to the condition of its children. Why? Because whatever we possess, whatever wealth we gain, no matter how famous we become, no matter how powerful we feel, we have to die. And who will take over the wealth? Who will take over the levers of power? If you do not educate your children to do so, your country will be ruined, your wealth will be wasted.
Moving forward, the president said his administration will continue to work to ensure that school-age children are provided with their basic needs while supporting the efforts of other organizations that have similar goals. The Guyana United Islamic Anjuman was founded in June 1973, making it the oldest Islamic organization in Guyana. Out of that organization, the Shaheeds Boys and Girls Orphanages were birthed in the 1950s. The function of these facilities are to provide care, home, and facilities to orphans, vulnerable, and destitute children. President Granger also engaged in a number of courtesy calls and engagements this week. Here are some of the highlights. Among those who engaged with President Granger this week were representatives from GEM, the Guyana Entertainment magazine. Their representatives presented the head of state with the publication's most recent edition. The magazine, which features President Granger on its cover, was dedicated to the inauguration activities for Guyana's 8th executive president on May 26 last. President Granger on Wednesday also met with Colonel Nigel Dransfield, the finance controller of the Royal Commonwealth Ex-Services League. This organization has as its mandate the welfare of World War II veterans in Commonwealth countries.
The President very, very kindly allowed me a 15-minute meeting with him to discuss veteran matters. And I'm delighted to hear that he himself is taking a great interest in veterans, in so much as there is a meeting that will take place next Sunday at the Legion headquarters to discuss the future of veterans themselves.
Moving forward, Dransfield said areas of interest are health care for veterans and their widows.
And we will provide for that, and we try and make sure that each of the veterans gets a financial grant each year.
In addition, the president also met with members of Freedom Light Ministries Guyana at his office. The church, which is located in Princess Street, Charlestown, is preparing to celebrate their 7th anniversary. Among the members who met with the head of state for a brief conversation were Prophet Joel Owagbo, Elder Sandra Calenda, Cyril Didigis, Melanie Alicock, and Prophet Griffith Daniel of the Dominican Republic. Also, President Granger participated in several emancipation activities over the weekend. We'll bring you highlights of those activities in the next diary. That's all in this week's diary for the period July 25 to August 1, 2015. Before we go, these were some of the highlights. Vatican is open to supporting international mediation for Guyana. President Granger announces increase in government's subvention for Shaheed's orphanages. Caribbean Development Bank has signaled its interest to work with Guyana in the area of renewable energy, and rice industry is not in crisis, President Granger reassures. Do join me again next week when we will update you on the Head of State's activities. I'm Janelle Carter. Do have a safe and productive week ahead. But in the interim, for more information, contact us via email at gina.gov.gy@gmail.com or visit our website www.gina.gov.gy.